Hi, I'm Hannah from the Student Health Center. I'm one of the physical therapists here. We're doing a series of educational videos while you guys are at home studying, not on campus. Over the series of videos, you'll see me in a face mask. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are required as a health policy or a health center policy to wear masks at all times, including staff and patients. So you'll be seeing me in a mask. So I wanted to just do a quick little education on shoes and surfaces for exercise. So I've certainly seen a couple of patients so far where they typically work out not necessarily running or walking, and they're either in a gym or in a different environment for exercise, and they've got really old shoes. And right now, as stores and things are starting to open, it may still be hard to look for new running shoes or new sneakers or whatever you want to call them. But things we want to think about, or we want you to think about, is not wearing shoes that are really old. If you're picking up running or you're picking up walking, wearing shoes that are 10 or 15 years old, or somewhere within that, and that are worn out, are likely to cause injuries. So looking at if it's within your budget, looking at seeing, can you purchase a new pair of shoes? With the fact that it's hard right now and not necessarily feasible to go into stores and try shoes on, a couple of things that you can think about is, what type of shoes have you worn in the past? Have you typically worn Asics, or have you typically worn Nikes, and seeing if you can buy something that's kind of within that genre of what you've worn in the past can certainly work for you. Overall, when we look at running shoes, they have kind of three different varieties. We have a neutral shoe, a stability shoe, and a motion controlled shoes. And that looks at how much stability they're giving your foot. And so typically, if you're not really sure, that stability shoe tends to be a pretty safe shoe to wear. Gives you stability without over providing stability for a foot that doesn't need that much support. If you somebody who wears inserts and your inserts are wearing out, it's another thing to consider replacing at this point. Again, all ways to reduce the likelihood of injury. And the other thing I want to talk a little bit about, as far as surfaces, if you are starting a running program or even out walking, is not all surfaces are the same. So we kind of know that intuitively, but just something to consider is the hardness of the surface you're walking on. So when we look at hardness, concrete is the hardest surface to get out and move on. Wet sand is just below that, followed by gravel. When you look at soft surfaces where there's a lot more squish and a lot more absorption, you're looking at bark, trail, grass, and track are kind of all on that lower end. And asphalt is somewhere in the middle. So, if you're starting to get out and you're starting to notice more discomfort associated with pounding, if you're starting a running program on being on hard surfaces, think about the surface you're running on and see, is there a track somewhere that you can run on? Is there a bark trail? Do you have a choice of running on concrete sidewalks or on asphalt roads? And that surface can make a big difference as far as injury prevention and your body's ability to adapt to your new form of exercise. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.